Hello everyone. Today we'll be studying about cell. Basically, what is cell? Discovery of cell, types of cell, cell organelles, plant cell, animal cell, and difference between plant and animal cells. So let us start with the cell. What is cell? All living beings, whether plant or animal, are made up of cell. A cell is the base structural and functional unit of a living organism. Cells can live independently on its own and perform all the life processes. This is why the cells are called the building blocks of life. Cells are very minute and cannot be seen by the naked eye. Discovery of the cell. Cells were not discovered until invention of microscope. The Dutch scientist Anton van Leeuwenhoek developed the first simple microscope. It was made up of single lens. The use of this microscope enabled him to see blood cells in the capillaries of webbed foot of a frog. He also observed tiny single-cell organisms in the drop of water. Leeuwenhoek was the first to recognize organism as living unit of living beings. However, he did not call them cells. Robert Hooke, an English scientist, used two lenses to devise the compound microscope. He studied the thin slice of cork under the microscope and observed small box-like structures in it. He called them cells. The word cell is derived from the Latin word cellula, meaning small compartments. The cell was discovered and named for the first time by Robert Hooke in 1665. Characters of cell. 1. A cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. 2. A cell is capable of independent existence. 3. A cell can perform all essential functions for its survival. 4. Most cells are microscopic, that is, they are so small that they cannot be seen by the naked eye. 5. All organisms start their life by a single cell. Every cell has a lifespan. And the last, old and worn-off cells are continuously replaced by the new one. Diversity in cell, shape, size and number. There is a great variation in number, shape and size of the cell in various organisms. Let us start with the shape of the cell. Cells show a lot of variation in shape, although most unicellular organisms maintain a constant shape throughout their life, but some organisms such as amoeba keep on changing their shape. Multicellular organisms are made up of cells of different shape. Depending upon their functions, various shapes of cells are as follows. Irregular. These cells do not have a fixed shape and are irregular. For example, amoeba and WBCs. Oval. Chlamydomonas has an oval-shaped body. Oblong. Paramecium is made up of single slipper shape or oblong cell. Elongated. Cells are elongated and contractile. That is, they can become longer and shorter. This helps in the movement of bones. Thread-like. Nerve cells are long and thread-like. Size of cell. Most cells are microscopic. Their size is measured in micrometers or micron. The smallest cells are those of bacteria, which ranges from 0.2 to 0.5 microns in diameter. The smallest cell in the human being are red blood cells. A hen's egg measured about 6 cm in length and that of an ostrich measures about 23 cm. A cell may be as long as 3 meters, such as nerve cell of an elephant. Number of cells. Some organisms are made up of single cell while some other are made up of many cells. Organisms that are made up of single cells are known as unicellular organisms, for example, bacteria, amoeba, paramecium and chlamydomonas. On the other hand, organisms that are made up of many cells are known as multicellular organisms. Plants such as lotus, rose, mango and animal cells such as insect, fish, birds and human beings are multicellular organisms. Basic structure of a cell. Even though most cells vary in their shape and size, but their basic structure is almost similar. A cell is like a tiny container bounded by a membrane known as cell membrane or plasma membrane. It is filled with a jelly-like substance known as protoplasm. The protoplasm has two parts, a darker, denser part known as nucleus and a semi-solid jelly-like part known as cytoplasm. The main components of a typical cell are cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus and cell organelles. Cell membrane or plasma membrane. Each cell is bound by a thin, delicate skin-like membrane called as cell membrane or plasma membrane. It allows only selective substances to pass through it. Hence, it is known as selectively permeable membrane. It is elastic in nature and enables the cell to stretch to some extent. Functions of the cell membrane. It gives a definite shape to the cell. It controls the movement of material in and out of the cell. It provides protection to the internal components of the cell from injury. Now let us know about cell wall. Cell wall is only found in plant cell. A cell wall is non-living, it is permeable, that is, it allows free passage of all the substance through it. It is made up of complex carbohydrate called cellulose. Functions of cell wall. It gives definite shape to a plant cell and provides strength and rigidity to the cell. Nucleus. The nucleus is the control center of the cell. We can also say that nucleus acts as the brain of the cell. It is surrounded by a double membrane called nuclear membrane. The nuclear membrane encloses a colorless dense fluid known as nucleoplasm. It contains one or more spherical bodies called nucleolus. The nucleoplasm contains a network of thread-like structures called chromatin network. When a cell divides, the chromatin networks form small thread-like structures called chromosomes. The chromosomes carry genes which are responsible for hereditary structures and are passed from one parent cell to the new cell. Function of nucleus. First, the nucleus controls all the vital activities of the cell. It is thus called the control center of the cell. Second, it is carrier of heredity from parents to their offspring. Third, it plays important role in the cell division. Number of chromosome. Every organism of a particular species has a fixed number of chromosomes. Each cell of an organism has the same number of chromosomes. The number of chromosomes in cell of different species are different. For example, human beings, we have 46 chromosomes. That means we have 23 pair of chromosomes. And an onion have 16 chromosomes, rice has 24 chromosomes, and dogs have 60 chromosomes in their cell. Cytoplasm. It is the semi-solid, colorless, jelly-like part enclosed within a cell membrane. Most cellular activities occur within the cytoplasm with the help of cell organelles. Function of cytoplasm. It helps in the distribution of molecules and nutrients within the cell. And it helps in exchange of material between different cell organelles. Now let us know about cell organelles. In order to perform various activities of a cell has many small structures in the cytoplasm called cell organelles. Mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosome, Geology bodies and vacuoles are some of the cell organelles. Let us start with mitochondria. Mitochondria are small, rod-shaped or spherical organelles found in large number. Each mitochondrion is bound by two membranes, an outer membrane and an inner membrane that is folded to form finger-like projections called cristae. Function of mitochondria. Mitochondria are the site of respiration in the cell. During respiration, food is oxidized in the presence of oxygen and energy is released in the form of adenosine triphosphate. Hence, it is also known as the powerhouse of the cell. Endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is a network of tube-like structures found throughout the cytoplasm. It is of two types, smooth endoplasmic reticulum and rough endoplasmic reticulum, depending upon the presence of an other organelle, that is ribosome, on it. Function of endoplasmic reticulum. It gives internal support to a cell and it provides a pathway for the transport of material within the cell and between the cells. Ribosomes. These are small, round structures present either in free state in the cytoplasm or attached to the endoplasmic reticulum. They are not membrane bounded. Function of ribosomes. There is only one main function of ribosome and that is protein synthesis. Therefore, they are also known as the protein factories of the cell. Geology bodies. These are made up of stack of parallel flattened discs. In plant cell, these are smaller, unconnected and more in number. They are also known as dictyosomes. Function of Golgi bodies. Golgi bodies secrete certain substance and helps in the synthesis of the cell wall in plant cell, and they help in the transportation of material within a cell and outside it. Lysosome. Lysosomes are tiny sac-like organelles bound by single membrane. Function of lysosomes. First, they contain enzymes which help in the digestion of food within the cell. Second, they protect the cell against the various foreign bodies. Third, under certain conditions, lysosomes release enzymes that digest other cell organelles. This is why they are also known as side bags of the cell. Centrosome. Small non-membranous organelles found very close to the nucleus in animal cell only. Centrosomes are absent in plant cells. It has two tiny granules called centrioles. Function of centriole. Centriole helps the cell to divide into two daughter cells. Plastids. These are present only in plant cells. Plastids are special organelles that manufacture and store pigments. They are bound by double membrane. Plastids are of three types: chloroplast, chromoplast and leukoplast. Chloroplast. Chloroplasts are plastids that contain green pigments called chlorophyll. They impart green color to the leaves and other plant part where they are present. Chloroplasts show two regions, grana and stroma. Chloroplasts are also known as the kitchen of the cell because they trap solar energy to perform photosynthesis. Chromoplast. These are plastids with colored pigments other than green. They are mostly found in the fruit and petals of the flower. The red, orange and yellow color of fruit and flower is due to the presence of chromoplast. Leukoplast. These are colorless plastids devoid of any pigment. They store food prepared in the plant in the form of starch, protein and fats. They are found in the root of the plant and in underground stems such as potato and ginger. Vacuoles. A vacuole is bound by a single membrane called tonoplast. The membrane encloses a fluid known as cell sap. It contains sugar, protein, amino acids and minerals. In plant cells, the vacuoles are large. Some plant cells have only one large vacuole, whereas animal cells either do not have vacuole or they have very small vacuole as in amoeba. Function of vacuole. Vacuole help the cell in remain turgid and keep it in shape. They also store food material, water in the cell. Cell inclusion. Apart from these organelles, cell contains some non-living substances, either in the cytoplasm or in the vacuole. These substances are known as cell inclusions. These may be food products such as starch and oil globules or waste materials such as gum, resin, latex or tannins. Difference between plant and animal cells. Basic structure of plant and animal cells are same. However, there are some differences between them. For example, cell wall and plastids. Cell wall and plastids are only found in plant cells. That means they are absent in animal cells. And same as that, centrosomes and lysosomes are present in animal cells and they are absent in plant cells. Cell division. When cell is formed, it is small. After digesting food, it grows in size. However, its growth is limited. After reaching a certain critical size, a cell divides into two cells. The process by which new cells are formed is known as cell division. New cells formed through the cell division are known as daughter cell. New cells are needed for the growth of an organism and to replace cells that die. For instance, in a human body, millions of blood cells die and are replaced each second. The skin cells also been replaced, but the nerve cells cannot be replaced. Once they die, they dead. Therefore, human body can heal injuries to all its parts except to the nervous system. Thank you.